This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. And let me tell you, I promised you another video. I promised you another two, and I'm actually going to switch up the order in which I do it. I was going to leave the Jujhar Khaira and crew on waivers to the last video, allow my man X-Snipes Edmonton Oilers to get some much needed respect for grinding out that video as soon as he possibly could, whereas I'm sitting there at work wishing I could be grinding this video. So with that in mind, as I say, wishing I could be grinding this video, I'm going to do it now, which is what we're doing. But before we get to that, what I need to tell you is, again, I know I've been hard on this for a while, just hammering this home every video. Right now, I want everybody, if you're new to the channel, if you can take the next 10 or so minutes to consider hitting the subscribe button and sticking around for the season, I would greatly appreciate that. It's something I know a lot of people might be getting fed up with, but it's something, if I don't ask, I'm not going to get. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that would tell me it's getting irritating, you know we've got something pretty good going here. So if you want to stick around, think about that. With that, I want to bring you the best meme on Twitter today. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm a hip guy. I'm mid-20s. I'm up with the memes. Now, there you go. I'm way out with memes actually on that. And what I mean by this is this Edmonton Oilers tweet about placing Jujhar Khaira, Patrick Russell, Joakim Nygard, Anton Forsberg, and Alan Quine on waivers. Alright, so you'd have to figure that at least one of these guys, there's like 100 guys though on waivers today, at least one of these guys gets claimed by another NHL team. More than likely either Jujhar Khaira or Joakim Nygard. That seems likely. Alan Quine probably in there in the 3 spot, Patrick Russell in the 4 spot. Anton Forsberg goes to the taxi squad almost without a doubt. So in this, somewhere you find 4 guys headed to the taxi squad. Cap savings for the Oilers, and secondarily to that, of course, probably a player moved out, which alleviates that logjam. For a lot of Oilers fans, they are probably very much so looking forward to seeing the Oilers potentially rid themselves of Jujhar Khaira, costing us nothing to get rid of him, essentially. That's pretty good. I'd still like a 7th round pick or something back, but for a lot of Oilers fans, they are happy to wash their hands at this point of a guy who had a big body, liked to get scrappy, liked to do the things the right way. But the last few years, decline in play, decline in offense, there was never a climb in offense, and it just hasn't worked out for Jujhar Khaira. Patrick Russell, well, he's a guy that came through the Bakersfield system, worked his way up to the NHL last year, gave us something, but pretty much nothing. And, well, you know what, for him, tough go, but that is how it goes. If you're an NHL team's 13th, 14th forward, the next season, you're probably on your way out, and that could be Patrick Russell's role, could be gone after this year, but again, he could also be on the taxi squad and make an impact when we need him most, so keep that in mind as well. Joakim Nygard, this one sucks, because he's battled back injury after injury, wants to remain an Oiler, I'm sure, and really could be an impact player inside the lineup. But you look at the left wing depth, now moving Josh Archibald over to the left wing, have the Oilers, you saw that video moments earlier, is the fact that Joakim Nygard realistically does not have a place on this team. Yes, he's crafty with his hands. Yes, he's speedy. But guess what? So is Archibald. So is Tyler Ennis. You're not telling me Dominic Cahoon's going to tank so bad that Joakim Nygard finds himself on the second line with Draisaitl and Yamamoto at this point this season. That said, injuries happen. If he makes it all the way to the taxi squad, anything is possible. And I want to see Joakim Nygard stick around, but I also want to see him succeed because he deserves a chance to succeed after everything he has been through. Anton Forsberg, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, what's there to say about this guy? Well, he's come into camp. He's been the 3rd string goalie, and he will continue to be the 3rd string goalie for us. He'll get through waivers more than likely, go to the taxi squad where he's supposed to be, and then wait for that moment when Mike Smith or Mikko Koskinen are unfit to go, jump in there and maybe give us a good game or two on our quest for top 4 in the North Division. Alan Quine, here's an interesting one. Somebody we don't know, right? The top 3, we all know they are known commodities. Alan Quine signed with the Oilers, more than likely to be veteran AHL depth, was where he was on the depth chart. He could maybe sneak into the top 4, but now you see Ryan McLeod has snuck into the top 4, right? So, okay, he's not got a role there. Where does he have a role? Potentially on the taxi squad. But here's the thing. If you're looking at one of the 4 forwards on this list getting claimed, yeah, it's something possible. But, you know what? Alan Quine, more than likely, if he goes unclaimed, you probably send him down to the minors. Because you've got a centerman in Jujhar Khaira, so that means you've got a centerman in Ryan McLeod up there. That gives you 5 centers. You know what? You're fine. Gaetan gets back. You've got 6 centers. So you're good to go. Alan Quine can go on down to the minors. So you see how this all works is even if nobody gets claimed, you still have that option. Even Patrick Russell, you could move down to the minors, allowing to have Tyler Benson on the taxi squad until the NHL season and AHL season start up together. And then you've got the NHL going at the same time as the AHL, and you can figure that all out. But you look at how this lines up, right? The Oilers are going to be allowed to carry 31 players from the math I understand. 2 on the IR being Neal and Haas, allowing us to have 29 on the taxi squad and main roster at one point, and then you'll have to make some moves to get rid of some guys as it goes down. And as it currently stands, the Oilers are at that, I believe, 28 mark if you get rid of these 5 guys. But you see how we can go back up +3 and it all works out. So yeah, maybe you need to actually get rid of 3 guys. But realistically right now, your guess is as good as mine. If one of these guys gets claimed, which then it makes sense, right? If you can only go with 3 guys plus the goalie, yeah, all of a sudden we're right there where we need to be. And that's where it gets very, very interesting as we go along. But ladies and gentlemen, for the Edmonton Oilers, this is nothing but fun. At this point now, let your ideas run wild because we are going to have so much fun in the next 48 hours. Up until 6 p.m. game day on Wednesday, we are going to have just a banana fun time on Twitter, Facebook. You want to talk people talking the craziest they have about the Edmonton Oilers since August 1st? Get set, buckle up, and get comfy because you know what? You're in for what's going to be an absolute wild ride, my friends. So, you get that? All right, take the safety precautions. And you know what? We got one last thing to talk about tonight. That's the TV deal stuff. And then we get into the roster tomorrow. It's 48 hours to the pregame. Like 48 hours from now, you'll be watching the first Dolynny TV pregame of the 2021 season. And then all of a sudden, you know what? 2 hours after that, live stream goes live and away we go off and running for an Edmonton Oilers game against the Vancouver Canucks, the first of the 2021 NHL regular season. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Like I said, buckle up, get ready because it's going to be a fun time. I am up on out of here.